All right, everyone. So I'm putting this video out because I just have been in a really great mood after playing the first round of the Gears of War Reloaded beta. We did a video of our first impressions and we did our final impressions. And now I want to just go further into why I'm excited. Part of it is because after that first day, after Friday, I wasn't in a bad mood about the game, but I just felt like, man, this is really a missed opportunity. You have this great opportunity to bring so many people into Gears of War. You're putting it on the PlayStation where it's never been before. And it just felt like those server issues were something that could really hold the game back. But then, as the weekend went on, uh, the servers were great, and I just thought the foundation of what this small beta, right? And we got to remember, this is very small at this point, right? This is very small because it's only team deathmatch and it's only 3 maps. But I feel like the foundation is there. I could really see myself getting back into it just like I did all those years ago with Gears of War 2. This is a different game, I would say, than Gears of War 2, right? I think the Lancer is just much more effective in this one than I can remember in Gears of War 2. The boom shot is nowhere near as good as it was in Gears of War 2. The long shot is actually a lot better than it was in Gears of War 2. It feels like people are getting headshots like crazy. And so I just feel like it has the opportunity, like I said, I said this in my last video, but I'm changing my perspective on this game after the first beta weekend, meaning I kind of thought of it as, man, we're going to get this beta or this new game coming out, right? And then we're going to get E-Day coming out, and it's like, oh man, this is going to kill the lifespan of this remaster. But then I kind of thought about it and I was like, actually, no, this is exactly what we want. We don't want this game to be the one that is surviving for the next 10 years or something like that. We want this game to be a game in which for the next year, maybe 2 years, people are playing like crazy. And then when E Day comes out, we kind of get people, not that they'll never return to this game, but all of those people those new Gears of War fans we've created all go into E Day. And you just revitalize the franchise in its new content. As great as the old content is, you have the new content that keeps people there, right? So it's kind of the best of both worlds. And then you go ahead and you do Gears of War 2, right? So E-Day comes out and then start working on Gears of War 2 and give yourself time to work on the next thing after E-Day as you extend it out. I just want to see Gears of War get back to, where it was when I was younger. It was like I said, I don't know if people who are either, newer to gaming or didn't play it back in the day, I'm not sure people understand that Gears of War was not just, and think about that. This is as an exclusive on the Xbox. Gears of War was not just another game. It wasn't just like, oh, well, there's a bunch of people that like Gears of War. It was on the level in terms of hype, and I'd have to go back and look at, sales and all of that. I don't know what the player counts were, but in terms of when I was on YouTube watching the different content creators, it was Call of Duty content creators, it was Halo content creators, and it was Gears of War content creators. It was Battlefield content creators. But Gears of War was on that level. Gears of War wasn't like, some small IP or something like that. It was, or just like Xbox fans loved it. It was something that everybody kind of loved, obviously only Xbox players. And I think Gears of War 1 PC also had that. Windows games had that. So a little bit on the PC, but it was an Xbox thing, but it was a big game in the media space, which like I said, I want to be clear that I haven't played a lot of these newer ones, so I could have just been missing out. I'm just going at it from the standpoint of the kind of view, the amount it's talked about overall in whether it's the games media, YouTube, is way down from where it was back in the day when it was on the level of a Call of Duty. And now I think we have a chance here to get back. I don't care if it's bigger than Call of Duty or not. That's not the point. It's just I want it to be, when when I'm watching gaming news channels or when I'm, hanging out on YouTube. There's all these really big Gears content creators and the guys that have been holding it down for a while, which I didn't even know some of them. I've kind of Googled them later, and obviously this channel. But and some of these guys have been holding down Gears for a while, and those guys, because they started so early and have been in on it and have been loving Gears for so long, I hope they get huge. I hope they get huge because of it. So I just think Gears is back. I think this is going to be a great game. So, like I said, this beta, it's people have to make sure that they're, um, you know, what they expect out of this is in the right place. We can't judge the whole game at this point based off just this beta. They're only giving us this isn't like, a beta like maybe we're used to where you kind of okay, it's a multiplayer beta, you get everything that's in there. And it's just kind of the beta before. Now maybe they'll add, I don't know, I have no knowledge of this, but maybe they'll add in another beta session before. I think in my opinion they should do as many beta sessions as possible as needed because man, the servers day one, we know that they're probably going to be similar to the problems that we saw in the beta day one. You got to make sure that it's not too long because people who pre-ordered this game, they may be like, all right, yeah, it's expected on the beta. If we want to get people playing and we want people to get excited about this thing, the servers have to be good day one. And I have to say, Saturday and Sunday, the servers were fantastic. I had very little lag. I had no problem finding a match, no issues on that front. It was just that Friday. So if that's anything, any clue of what we have in store, that means that I think the launch is going to be pretty good. I remember the Gears 2 launch had problems. I remember that, and I want to even, and I'm trying to remember back without evidence, so I don't want to, um, say something that's not true. But if I remember, I would guess that it might have been a couple weeks before that was fixed. Could have been even a month. I don't know. I just remember early on, man, you try to find a match in Gears of War 2, it would take a while, but they fixed it quickly. Now we have another beta this weekend, so I may change my opinion on this if, we're adding in a new mode, if there are more issues, and I'm going to be watching a lot of different, I'm going to try to read as much as I can from these gaming websites, and I'm going to try to watch as many Gears videos on this to kind of get if there are people that are kind of down on it, what's the other side, what's the other perspective. But and on my perspective and on this channel's perspective, at this point, I think Gears is back. I think this is going to be a perfect, you know, game to get us to the next game, and then that's where the key is, right? You're remaking a game that's already awesome, right? We already know Gears One is awesome. Now it's about delivering with E-Day and not just making a game that people go, okay, yeah, it's good. It's graphically looks good. It has cool modes and it's Gears of War multiplayer. Get people to feel the same way they felt about it with Gears 2, with Gears 1, right? I remember even the Gears 3 beta playing that, man, it was so exciting, and it was kind of weird when the Gears 3 beta came out. That was kind of when I was transitioning a little bit and not gaming as much. So I played a crap ton of the beta and a lot less of the actual game. But man, that period of Gears 2 launch to the Gears 3 beta when I was playing that, it was an exciting time to be a Gears War fan. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.